Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat. I am back to work on the Winter Fashionista Journal, and this is my second attempt at this video, so I apologize. Oh my gosh. Sorry, no video yesterday. We had some things. My son's car is not working again, so it needed to go to the shop, and then we had a sofa where we took over to his place for him and his roommates, and yeah, it was just one of those errandy type days and kind of some things that I hadn't didn't know were going to happen. So yeah, that's why I wasn't around yesterday, but as you all know, those kind of things happen. So what we're going to do today, I haven't done anything except stitch around the journal, and I needed to tell you guys because I've had questions, and rightly so, because what was I thinking? I never even told you guys what size this was. So it's a piece of manila file folder. It's cut at 11.5, or it's 11.5 long because we're doing the ledger style. And then it is almost 4 3/4, just about wide. I usually try to give kind of a 1/4 of an inch all the way around where the journal pages are going to go, if you know what I mean, like up here, down here, and on the side. That's just how I like to do it. So 11.5 by 4 3/4 when it's folded. Obviously it's double that, but I also left this piece on, so that's 2 1/4, that little fold over. So that's added on to the 8 and what is this piece? Okay, it's 9.5 plus 2 1/4. Okay. So that's how I did that, and then I folded this over. I made a thumb notch. I stitched all the way around it after I put the paper and stuff, and there's a video on that you can watch how I did that. And then this is just a piece of black fabric that has snowflakes on it, so I thought that would be cute. And I like the black because there is kind of that, you know, in the fashion thing, the lots of black, either total black dress kind of thing, or accents, shoes and purses and whatnot. So if you guys have not seen Nancy Pitter's video, pop over there and check that out, because she's kind of doing like a little black handbag sort of feel to her journal. She did the flap like mine, but she put it over the top, so it looks like a patent leather handbag because it's all black. Super cute. Love it. And I love what Mitzie is doing as well. Just very fun. So make sure and check out the other ladies, because it is a collaboration. And if you are just joining me now, Carol wasn't able to join us this time because she's got some family obligations, a sick relative and things like that. So prayers to Carol for sure. But she'll join us again in the future. She just couldn't. She's had too many obligations, which is totally understandable. Family is first, always, always. So I just hope everything's okay. But I felt bad for her because I know she wanted to do this. But we'll do another one, Carol. It's okay. No worries. I'm just trying to even this up. It didn't tear very evenly, and I want it a little more even, so I apologize. I know I'm gonna try something new. Carol had the fantastic idea of I could hook the topper here to a piece of ribbon to tie around, and then the whole thing would come off, which I do love that idea. But then I need 2 pieces of ribbon because I need one to go around that part and one to go around the journal, and I really just want to do one around the whole thing. So I'm going to attempt something different, but close to Carol's great idea. So we'll see if I can make this happen or not. Okay, so I've kind of just got it folded in half now. And it does cover part of the snowflakes, but that's just the way it is sometimes with covers. And I'm just going to clip this to hold it in check for now. If this is a disaster, this will probably just end up being my journal, but because I obviously am not going to sell you something that isn't good, but it could turn out okay, and we'll see. We shall see. This one has not been spoken for. Okay, so what we need to do, this is our little topper that we made in the last video, the envelope topper, and I haven't got around to decorating it yet, but we'll get there. So basically, I just need to figure out, I want to cut here in this fabric, and then this other piece, I put glue on this because, as I told you, I tried to do this video and then I messed up. So that's going to go there. This is the backer for this. So yes, it does not look even now, and that's what threw me off last time. And then I need to cut here because this is the size on the back. This will get glued on here, and that fabric will be sandwiched between it, and this will flip open, but it won't come off entirely, if that makes any sense. Hopefully you'll see by the end of this video if I can get it to work. We're gonna give it the old college try here. I don't know where that phrase ever came from. You guys ever thought about things like that? Yeah, I guess because there's so much kind of trial and error when you're doing different things in college, or just college in general can be a trial and error situation. Okay, so it will all get glued down except for this flap, which will be between the envelopes and that piece of paper, because it'll get sandwiched. So I think this is going to work. We're going to try it again because I had it down. I centered it last time, and that doesn't work because this back piece is not centered. If that makes sense. Hopefully I'm making some kind of sense. So anyways, my son came home with us and is learning to drive our Volkswagen Beetle that was my daughter's car, because it's a manual transmission. He never learned because that was her car, and then, you know, he has the other car, the Ford Explorer. So he just never learned. So that is something we're working on because he delivers pizza to pay his rent, and the gas guzzler Ford Explorer is kind of killing him. So we're trying to get him driving the Bug, since my daughter has a different car now, because that will save him some money because it's a diesel Bug, which I know people are like, what? It's like, yes, it is indeed a diesel. And it gets awesome gas mileage. So that's what it's going to look like. It is down a little lower than I had originally thought I wanted it, but I think it's going to work. Just have to try to make it as straight as possible. And this will all, these pieces will get all glued down tight. There's a weird fold in this fabric right here. Okay. So, I'm going to attempt this. It makes me a little crazy. I think I might have to take it off to do that part. So then this will just get glued right onto here, like so. And then that way when you flip it open, you can write on this part. So this is the back of my envelope stack, and I'm just gluing this part, not these, because those are the opening flaps, which I tried to glue, you know, the last time. So we're going to try not to do that this time. And I'm using PVA glue. You can use Fabri-Tac or whatever the glue is that you like to use. I like tacky glue, PVA, that kind of glue more. But as I've mentioned 1,000 times, it's all personal preference, honestly, the glue thing. Because we all like different glues. And luckily there are lots to choose from, right? I glopped that glue there. So hopefully your guys' lives have been calmer. Car troubles are not my favorite thing in the world. I'm sure they're nobody's, but it's just such a pain. I mean, it's awesome. Now he's here hanging out with us, but I just feel bad for him because kind of upends his daily life, right? And he delivers pizza, so like he has to have a working car. I mean, he can borrow mine, but you know, it's always something. It's always something, something. I'm telling you. Okay, so that's the outside edge. Oh, I really want to get, you know, the edges real well, so that hopefully we don't have any issues. So I'm going to turn this so I can see it a little better. I'm going to attempt to get this on here as straight as possible. Did I get it straight is the question of the day. Looks like I got it pretty straight. Yay. Hopefully yay. I won't say yay yet, but and this was a piece of cardstock, so it's a little bit thicker, which is good because that way, you know, you don't get the weird bump or something from the fabric being underneath that. Okay. And then I usually sew in my signature before I put the fabric on, but I think I'm gonna put this on, and then the signature ties, you'll be able to see them along there, but I don't. Or do I want to wait? See, this is always hard for me to decide. Yeah, maybe I will wait, because I do like to cover up those strings. I don't know why, I just do. It looks more finished to me, so I might just let this dry. I think it's going to work just fine, because that's how it's going to go on. And then once it's glued and everything, this will open. I might have to clip those just a little bit more, and you'll be able to see that and right on here, and I think that that'll work fine. So we're going to set this aside so it can dry all the way. I think it's going to work. I think it's going to work, but we'll find out. And then I thought we could just do another little project that I wanted to do. I know I was going to decorate those envelopes, but I'm just going to let that dry, and then we'll see. I have one of these little, well, I have a bunch of these little cards, and I just want to use them up. So I think these would be fun to do, kind of like we did if you remember the Tim Holtz tags or flashcards. I don't know why I can't remember that word. I thought it would be fun to do something like that, but instead of having them all dangling as much, I think it would be fun to just do the tiny attacher and attach fabric at the bottom, and then maybe this lady and one of these or something. I'm going to cover this entirely, so you're not going to see that hole. You could, you know, obviously use the hole too, but I just think I'm going to cover it. So I thought what I could do is glue that straight down. And then what we can do is put it in the journal and just maybe glue around the edges and have it as an up type tuck, or, you know, whatever we decide. I'm going to put the lid on that. Use this. So yeah, I thought that would be fun. Oh, I need to say hugs and blessings. I forgot to do that. Sorry, you guys. I get so, like, engrossed in what I'm doing. Hugs and blessings to Wendy, Nancy V, and Diana, and Susie. Thank you guys so much for always watching, for your kind comments. I really appreciate all of you so much. Welcome to new subscribers, and welcome back to those of you who have watched me for a long time, short time. I really appreciate you guys so much. Any activity on my channel helps immensely, so if you can comment, I really appreciate it. I know some of you watch from televisions, and I understand that's, yeah, you'd have to like go back in on an iPad or a phone or something to comment, and I know that that's difficult. But those of you that do comment, I read comments, I reply. So please, please, if you can, do any of those type of things. It would greatly appreciated. Commenting on each other's comments also helps. I mean, just any kind of activity. It just helps the computer algorithm say, yes, this channel is, you know, being viewed and liked and whatever. Put it out there more so that more people can see it. So, and I know you're probably sick and tired of hearing about it, because I do get tired of saying it, but that's all I can do. It's hard to be a crafter on YouTube, I have to say. And a lot of what I do doesn't appeal to the younger crowd. So I think, and that's true for a lot of crafters, and I think that it's just really hard for our channels to grow. I'm kind of old and boring, so. I mean, you guys are super sweet to me, so I appreciate it. All right, so we're just going to put some ink on there. Probably should have just used whatchamacallit. So now it doesn't really matter which way this goes. Glue stick, because it's kind of a little warpy, but I think it'll be fine once other things are on here. I think I'm going to round the corners on this. If I can find my, yeah, the corner rounder, just the little ones. The little mucky stuff on our hands that we get. That, I think I want a piece of this on there. I think that would be fun. Kind of over the top, you know? And this is that netting with the little snowy dots or whatever of, I don't know what that is. It's like a foam, little dots on there that you can get at the dollar store. Sometimes you can only find it in green or blue or whatever, but sometimes they have the white. I have the blue works too well for this. Just want it not so perfectly square there, or rectangular, I guess I should say. This is a little bit tricky to put on. I just try to put some glue on the back, and that seems to work, especially if you're going to put other things on top. Just don't press too hard on your glue stick because it will end up in just globs. You just kind of want to graze over it. It doesn't tear, so that's one good thing. A lot of the things that are super fine like this tear easily. You stick. It doesn't want to. Put her on here. This is art glitter glue. I get asked that question a lot. I am using Mermaid Lagoon to ink with on this particular journal. But, I mean, you can use anything you like. I kind of want to see that snowflake because, I mean, that's fun. Could do the smaller version. If this will come out. My daughter did have her interview today, so thank you for all of you who asked or, you know, mentioned. Hope it goes well. It went well. We just don't know anything yet, so. Or she doesn't know anything yet. Doesn't have anything to do with me, but except I love her. That's all. But yeah, I mean, she felt good about it. They had more interviews, so who knows? Fingers crossed. If that is a little loose, it's fine. It's not going to go anywhere. And then what I want to do is just take some pieces of fabric, because I did like the fabric coming down. What I didn't like about all the bulb pins with the fabric is that they get kind of twisty and messed up a lot. So I thought maybe something like this would be less twisty, right? Less likely to get twisted. To just have the strips and then just staple them on there, but you still kind of get that effect of, you know, the bits and pieces, which I like. I think this one's a little smaller. But I think it goes that way. Something like that. I just think that's kind of fun. So we're going to use the tiny attacher to put these little groupings of, come back here, fabric on. And this was just, you know, I mean, I'm sure you've got them if you've been making journals for any amount of time, that little bowl or jar or whatever of these itty bitty scraps of fabric that we all, oh, this needs to go on there too, Amy. Some days, I'm telling you. Luckily, these are tiny little staples, right? The boys are in the office just right down the hall, so that's why you can probably hear them if you can. Doing some computer thing. Who knows? My son got all A's and B's this last semester, so I was very proud of him. He really enjoyed it. So it's called GIM is the program, and he really likes it. It's all computer, gaming, all of that stuff. He likes it there quite a bit more than Moscow. That's Idaho. So yeah, it's a lot of staples, but I think that's cute. Don't you think that's cute? And then you can just put it up on the top of a page and tuck something under it if you want a tag or whatnot. Where are my pages? super simple. I mean, it doesn't get any simpler than that. Okay, on this one with the snowflakes. I think I might just kind of center it, and then a tag could tuck up under there, but you could still write right here. So I like that. And this page is a little shorter because I wanted to see, you know, I like to do that. Make some of them taller, shorter, whatever. You could, like I mentioned, punch that hole again and have a dangle that comes out. Like you could scoot it closer to the edge of the page. And that would be another way that you could use that. But I just wanted it without the hole. Yeah, I like the way that lays down a little more flat than it did with the pins. I liked the bulb pins, but they just felt like they were getting all this way and that way, so. Yeah, I think that'll work well. And then something, whatever you decide, can tuck right under there. Sort of like having a fabric flip and, you know, a cluster or whatever. So that's fun. I do want to put, I think, a little more glue on here and see if it'll stick a little better. I don't like to put it on the paper underneath because then the paper underneath gets shiny. And I don't want it to be shiny. Yeah, that helped. All right, I like that. I think that is good. I think I am going to wait until I stitch in my signature before I add that. I think I'm happy with how that turned out though. So yay. Maybe we can put a little something in there. Let's see if there's something we could see. Like one of these pretty ladies. I didn't really do any in squares. Isn't that always the way though? Kind of like, none of them are wide enough. So let's see. What else can we do? I could use a piece of this. And yeah, I like the yellow with that. Make a card that'll go in there. Measure that real quick. Because I can't remember. So let's go 3.5. And it's probably 3.5 would be good. We'll go a little bit more than 3.5. Oh boy, hold on. Had it over where the glow forge was and then tripped on the vacuum. Those. Because you gotta vacuum out the glow forge all the time while you're using it so that the little scraps of paper and stuff don't catch on fire. Because that would be bad. We don't want that. Three and 3/4 by 3.5. Hopefully we'll fit in there just lovely. Because this one, you kind of don't want to make whatever you put in it, if it flips up like this, too tight. Because it's going to be a little bit tricky to get it out of there. So you want to make sure that you're giving yourself enough room. See already, it's a little bit of a struggle. I might have to put something over that netting at the top. I'm going to cut it down just a little bit more. And I'll probably put some washi or something over that netting. Because it's wanting to grab it. I mean, you don't want to cut it down so much that it you could see the edges through the circle in there. Yeah, that works. So we got our piece that we're going to use. And then we'll put some of this yellow, golden yellow color on here. And we'll use one of the ladies that's already cut out. Oh, did I tell you guys? I can't remember what I told you in this video or the last one, but the reason we're having to teach my son, maybe I'll use this because it's got that snowflake. Teach my son, he knows how to drive already, but the Beetle is diesel and manual transmission, and he never learned how to drive that. I think I said that, but I may have said it in the last video because you're probably thinking, why do you have to teach him how to drive the Bug? That's why. Manual transmission. That is a fun car to drive. It's zippy. It's getting old, though. It's 25 years old. It's so crazy that it's been 25 years since we got that car. We've had it the whole time, too. So I think it will just be the family extra car now. Our mother and father-in-law were mentioning they might want to use it when they go someplace in their camper, trailer, whatever you call those things, RV, because you know, you need a car to drive around in when you are doing that. So I'm trying to see. I think about there. Do I want to cut? I mean, I can print more of these. Or I could cut one of these. That might work too. Cut it down smaller. I like the orange. Surprising. I never say that. Maybe I like her with the orange. Or this one with the orange. I mean, I'm not going to cut her out. I'm going to cut like a square. This one might just work better because it's a little bit smaller. But you can cut, like, fussy cut these ladies too. I was just trying to have some things that weren't fussy cut because I know not everybody likes doing fussy cut. So, yeah, I kept them in their backgrounds instead of cutting them all out. Gonna cover up that snowflake, but I guess that's just how it goes. Oh, I need to cut off more than that. What am I doing? Some days. top I don't want to cut more, but the bottom I need to cut more, because otherwise it's not going to fit, I don't think. Nope. So sorry, lady, but you're going to lose your legs in the photo here, the picture. Always moves. No matter how much I hold that down, it still always scoots a little bit when I use that cutter. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm sure it's user error, but it doesn't make it less annoying. This is a piece of envelope. I'm going to put that back there. I like that. Security envelope. Sun's coming out. I might go for a walk. I didn't get to do that this morning. I had some stuff I had to get to the post office. Lickety split. But now that the sun's out, it was all frosty this morning too. Frosty and cold. Yep, I like it. Oh, I've had questions too about the envelopes. The envelope thing is just kind of whatever you've got, because you can cut them to the sizes that you need, because most of mine were like junk mail or whatever. So just use what you have, because you can cut down the sides of them. I'll show you in just a second here. She needs to go this way. Like that. Yeah. Yes, I like it. Okay, so for example, this big envelope here was like a invitation or a large greeting card, and it came out about that far. So you can see I cut almost 2 inches off of that or more. And then now it's become a side pocket. And once you put the paper on here, you know how there's the opening like that? You just have to put glue across the top and then where the envelope is and leave, obviously, this part open. You can see I did, you know, glue the back of the paper there. So whatever I make to go in there will only be able to go to there. But that makes a side pocket. So you can cut your envelopes up. And if you need to seal the bottoms, on some of them, I don't know if you remember, but when we did this, I took this page and folded around. That will seal the bottom of that envelope closed. So that's all you got to do. You just sort of make them work however they work for you. And whatever window you have, you don't have to have the number 10 window envelope. You could even fake it and fold the number 10 window envelope cover in a way, or use a piece of paper and cut the window out of it, and it'll look like a window envelope without having a window envelope under it. So yeah, however you can make it work, and whatever size works for your journal. You don't have to do the same size I did. This was junk mail, this one back here, and I didn't have a window envelope cover in that particular size, so I just went around it with collage. So yeah, just make it work however it works for you, you know. So I think that's where we'll stop today. Oh, let's put a little something on the front of that, because I would like that. I want burr, or the frozen's a little big. That's the cold one again. Yeah, I think I like this little burr. I just think it's cute. And then maybe we'll put a little something behind it just so it stands out a little bit more. Yeah, that will work. So yeah, just figure out, you know, kind of what sizes work for you. And another thing is, I don't know a lot about A4 paper size and all of that, so I'm not sure. I think if you just print the 8.5 by 11 on A4. You can just cut off any white extra wherever it's hanging over or whatever. And I think it works fine. I think that's what Carol does. Carol Laws. So, sorry, I didn't make my papers in A4 size. I just, you know, just do them 8.5 by 11 because that's just what I'm used to. But, so we'll put that on there. You don't really want to put glue all on the back of this piece. You'll notice I left that open because otherwise it's going to glue to the picture behind there and then you won't be able to get your card out. Go like that. I want it hanging off the envelope though. I guess I could trim it over there a little. Snip. If you wanted to, you could put plain paper on the back of that so that you could write on it. I'm going to leave this particular one the way it is, but you definitely could do that. Make sure this comes out. Okay. And I'll probably stitch around that card. I'm not going to add any fabric or anything. I usually would, but I don't want it getting caught up in that fold. So I'm just going to leave it like it is. You can grab it pretty easy. So anyways, that's where we're at. I do like this. So I think that'll be pretty cool. I'm probably going to have to cut it a little more, but that's okay. I can do that. That one's cut enough. Let's just snip this. One more little snip here so that it, you know, folds open okay. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will chat with you again soon. Make sure you check out Nancy and Mitzie and see what they're doing because they are doing fun stuff. So I will talk with you soon. Love ya. Bye.